Their ancestors arrived in Boston with nothing. Today, their descendants control billion-dollar fortunes. These are the Irish families who didn't just find the American dream. They bought it, built on it, and now own it. But who are they? And how did they become Boston's shadow royalty? Today, we're counting down the richest Irish families in Boston. Stick around, because the #1 spot is a story you have to hear to believe. Number 7, the Connors family, $450 million. We are starting our journey into Boston's most powerful circles with the Connors family. With a net worth measured in the hundreds of millions of dollars, their influence is undeniable. This incredible fortune was built on brilliant business moves. Jack Connors Jr. sold his first company, Hill Holiday, in a deal worth up to $100 million. He then bought another firm for around $12 million. And just a few years later, sold it to Bain Capital for a staggering $450 million. That kind of cash fuels a lifestyle of immense luxury and influence. For over 40 years, Jack Connors Jr. worked from an office on the 60th floor of the iconic Hancock Tower. This is the absolute top of Boston, a private perch with VIP energy, where a planned bronze statue now honors his legacy at the tower's base. The family's lifestyle includes homes in the exclusive towns of Brookline, Cape Cod, and Naples, Florida. Their power is most visible through their incredible generosity. The family name is attached to an enormous 80-acre country estate in Dover, now run by Boston College as the Connors Family Retreat and Conference Center. This landmark, which feels like an old-world manor, was made possible by a stunning $10 million gift. They also reshaped Boston's most important institutions. A $5 million gift to Brigham and Women's Hospital created the Mary Horrigan Connors Center for Women's Health, which at the time was the largest donation in the hospital's history. A second $5 million gift followed, turning their fortune into permanent marble letters on the building. This is the kind of power that moves mountains with a single check. At one charity gala for Camp Harbor View, donors raised over $14 million in a single evening. Jack Connors has helped raise 9-figure sums for Camp Harbor View. This is Boston luxury, Connors style. Number 6, the Hynes Family, $600 million. While the Connors family put their name on buildings, our next family put their name on the map itself. Some families don't just buy a skyline, they draw one. That's the Hynes family. Their fortune is estimated to be in the high hundreds of millions, and it all flows through their company, Boston Global Investors. They were the master developers behind Seaport Square, a massive plan that transformed nearly 8 million square feet of the Boston waterfront into labs, hotels, and luxury homes. Their biggest move happened in 2006, when they bought 23 acres of waterfront land for over $200 million. At the time, it was mostly just thousands of parking spaces. The Hynes team then prepared the land for development, turning empty asphalt into a glittering new district. As the area became more valuable, they sold off pieces in huge 9-figure deals. One of the last big chunks of land alone sold for an incredible $359 million. Their crown jewel now is 10 World Trade. It's a 17-story office and science tower with a budget of nearly $600 million. The most luxurious feature is on the top floor, a 300-meter indoor running track and wellness center with stunning harbor views. Downstairs, a huge 45-foot-tall atrium is planned for a food hall and cultural events. It's like a private club in the sky. When you step back, you see they didn't just put up a building. They created a whole neighborhood people love to be in, with new parks and waterfront walks. This is Dynasty money shaping how Boston looks and feels. And that family history runs deep. John B. Hynes III is the grandson of a Boston mayor. Before changing his hometown, he helped lead a $35 billion project to build a brand new 100 million square foot city in South Korea. He has proven he can build cities on 2 different continents. Number 5, the Lynch family, $450 million. From building new skylines, we now turn to a family that collects the treasures of history. We are talking about the Lynch family. Peter Lynch's personal fortune is around $450 million, which came from a lifetime of smart investments. His family lives on a magnificent property on Marblehead Neck, one of the most exclusive pieces of coastline in all of New England. The main house is huge, at nearly 10,000 square feet, but that's just the start. Public records show they also own the properties right next door, giving them a massive private compound in a neighborhood famous for its world-class yacht clubs. The inside of their home is just as incredible as the ocean views. A local museum was once allowed to document the rooms, revealing a home that looks more like a private art gallery. This is where you really see how the Lynch family uses their wealth. They collect fine art as a serious investment. In a stunning act of generosity, they gave away a part of their collection to Boston College in 2021. The gift included 27 paintings and 3 drawings, worth more than $20 million, with priceless works by masters like Picasso and John Singer Sargent. On top of that incredible gift, they gave the museum an extra $5 million in cash. This kind of huge, 8-figure giving is what the Lynch family is known for. Their name is a permanent part of Boston College, thanks to a $10 million gift that created the Lynch School of Education. They later gave another $20 million to start a special leadership academy. All of this is powered by the family's own foundation, which holds around $130 million in assets just for charitable giving. With homes in Marblehead, Boston, and Scottsdale, the Lynch family shows a different kind of Boston power, one measured not just in dollars, but in culture, education, and timeless works of art. Number 4, the Fish family, $1.2 billion. While some families collect art, others build the very stadiums and skyscrapers that define a city. We are now moving on to the Fish family. John Fish is the sole owner of Suffolk Construction, a company that brought in around $6 billion in revenue in a single year. His personal wealth is estimated to be as high as $1.2 billion. This is the firm that delivered the massive $250 million overhaul of Gillette Stadium. That project included the 22-story lighthouse and the largest outdoor curved video board in the entire country. And they're not done. Suffolk is now building the Patriots' new state-of-the-art training facility, a private world for players with an underwater treadmill, virtual reality rooms, and a huge new weight room that opens onto 3 practice fields. They also built the Encore Boston Harbor, the spectacular $2.6 billion resort and casino that towers 27 stories over the city. The Fish family's lifestyle matches the scale of their business. They own a Milton residence worth nearly $6.5 million and a $3 million oceanside home in the exclusive Cape Cod community of Oyster Harbors. This lifestyle is powered by private jet travel. One report tracked John Fish's Gulfstream jet making 44 round trips to West Palm Beach in just 18 months, with other flights logging destinations like Aruba, Aspen, and Barcelona. Like other Boston power players, the Fish family gives on a massive scale. They recently gave $10 million to Tabor Academy, the largest gift in the school's history. They've also given millions to fund the head football coach position at Bowdoin College and to create special leadership roles for top doctors at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Their influence is also felt in politics, with records showing huge 7-figure donations to major political action committees. Number 3, the Flatley family, $1.3 billion. Now let's move from building the city to owning it. Meet the Flatley family, a true billionaire-tier dynasty started by the late Thomas J. Flatley. Forbes once listed his personal fortune at $1.3 billion, and his legacy continues through a massive real estate portfolio and a powerful foundation. This isn't just about owning a few buildings. This is district-scale wealth with entire office parks and hotels that have reshaped the Boston suburbs. The Flatley Company's crown properties are like small cities. There's Crown Colony Park in Quincy, a 1.5 million square foot office park with its own full-service Marriott hotel and new luxury apartments. Then there's the Braintree Hill Office Park, a 40-acre campus on a hillside with sweeping views of the Boston skyline. With its own fitness center, dining and childcare, it feels more like a private members club than a place to work. They also own the iconic Shafts City Centre, a waterfront landmark that has been updated with a new coffee bar, a 3-story atrium with a gas fireplace, and a huge conference centre. For years, the Flatley name was famous for its unique Tara hotels, designed to look like Irish castles. With turrets and grand entrances, these huge themed hotels were built to impress everyone who saw them. But the family's real power was shown in their massive 9-figure deals. In 2002, they sold a group of 11 apartment properties for an incredible $500 million. A few years later, they sold 10 shopping centers for another $500 million. In one deal alone, they sold the Boston Marriott Quincy Hotel, which they had built, for over $116 million. These are the kinds of numbers that build a true empire. Historically, the Flatley Company has owned or managed over 24 million square feet of property. That's a footprint that covers the entire region. Today, the family's influence is most powerfully felt through their foundation. With assets of over $658 million, it's a massive engine for giving. In 2023 alone, it gave away over $36 million to Boston area hospitals, schools, and other causes. The family also led the creation of the Boston Irish Famine Memorial on the city's famous Freedom Trail, a permanent civic landmark tied to their name. From their base in Milton, the Flatley family continues to control a real estate empire that advertises its status without saying a word. Number 2, the Kennedy family, $1.2 billion. A billion-dollar fortune and entire towns built from the ground up. It's hard to imagine a family with more power and influence than the Flatleys. But what if a family's name wasn't just on buildings, but in the history books themselves? This brings us to the Kennedys, America's most famous Irish dynasty. The family's fortune is vast and spread out, but the numbers are staggering. Public filings have put Carolyn Kennedy's personal net worth somewhere between $278 million and $500 million. A separate family trust was once valued at around $1.2 billion. This is the kind of generational wealth that operates on a completely different level. Their luxury is about legacy, history, and property that functions like a private kingdom. It all starts with the legendary Kennedy compound in Hynes Port. This is a 6-acre oceanfront estate with 3 main houses, a pool, a tennis court, and sprawling lawns, famous for those iconic touch football games. This was the summer White House, a center of power for decades. Today, homes right next door trade for as much as $25 million, which shows the incredible value of this location. While the main house was donated to the Edward M. Kennedy Institute, the compound remains the family's spiritual home. Then there was the Winter White House in Palm Beach, a spectacular 15,000 square foot mansion the family sold in 1995. But then a later owner sold it in 2020 for about $70 million. On Martha's Vineyard, Jackie O once bought a 340-acre estate called Red Gate Farm with a mile of private beach. Her daughter Carolyn later listed it for $65 million. While a large portion was sold to conservation groups for $27 million, the family kept nearly 100 acres for their own private homes. But the family's financial power wasn't just in homes, it was in massive commercial deals. For half a century, they controlled Chicago's famous Merchandise Mart, a truly enormous building, before selling it in a deal worth $625 million. This is proof of their ability to trade huge 9-figure assets across generations. Today, the Hynes Port compound still hosts family weddings and major events, a private stage for one of the world's most famous families. Number 1. The McCourt family, $1.4 billion. It's almost impossible to top the historical legacy of the Kennedys. But what if a family could take a few Boston parking lots and leverage them into a record-breaking sports empire, European soccer, and a New York City skyscraper? Welcome to the world of Frank McCourt, the ultimate Boston Irish billionaire. With a net worth of around $1.4 billion, his story is a masterclass in using high-stakes deals to build a massive fortune. It all started in South Boston, where his family's business owned valuable waterfront land and parking lots. In a brilliant move of financial engineering, McCourt used that Boston land as collateral to buy the legendary Los Angeles Dodgers in 2004 for about $430 million. It was a deal built on heavy loans, and it set the stage for one of the biggest paydays in the history of sports. In 2012, McCourt sold the team for $2.15 billion. This was a world record for a sports franchise at the time. After paying taxes and other debts, the sale left him with a reported profit of over $1.2 billion. In a final power move, the deal was structured so that he kept 50% ownership of the team's valuable parking lots, guaranteeing him a future stream of income from the land he no longer owned a team on. With that incredible fortune, McCourt began living a life of almost unbelievable excess, which was later detailed in court filings and news reports. He started by creating a 5-acre private compound in the ultra-exclusive Holmby Hills neighborhood of Los Angeles, right next to the Playboy Mansion. First, he bought a 20,000-square-foot mansion for about $25 million. Then, he bought the 8,400-square-foot house next door just to use as a guest house. But that still wasn't enough. He poured another $14 million into upgrades. In a move that shows his desire for ultimate luxury, he ripped out the property's tennis courts to build a massive $12.4 million indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool complex, which included private saunas and massage rooms. In one of the most extravagant details to emerge, he spent $180,000 just to have the custom kitchen from his old home in Brookline carefully removed, shipped cross-country, and reinstalled in his new LA mansion. His collection of homes was just as legendary. Before his move to LA, he owned a 13,000-square-foot home in Brookline, which he sold to Red Sox owner John Henry for $16 million. On Malibu's Billionaire's Beach, he bought a famous architectural home from actress Courtney Cox for over $27 million. Soon after, he bought the beach bungalow next door for another $19 million, simply to have more space and privacy. The family's portfolio also included a private home in the elite ski town of Vail, Colorado. This lifestyle was fueled by a staggering amount of spending. Reports indicate roughly 250 hours of Gulfstream time per year for 2 years, which is about 500 hours total, at around $6.25 million. His personal staff expenses were just as mind-blowing. Reports detailed costs of $800,000 a year for a driver and private security team. He even had a personal hairstylist on a $10,000 a month retainer. Today, McCourt has taken his fortune global. In 2016, he bought the legendary French soccer club Olympique de Marseille for around €45 million and promised to invest heavily in its success. Now he's planning to change the New York City skyline itself. His company has a plan to build a 1,000-foot-tall skyscraper next to Hudson Yards. It's a 1 million square foot tower on a site that cost $167 million to acquire. His giving is just as massive. He has given 2 separate $100 million donations to Georgetown University to create the McCourt School of Public Policy for a total of $200 million. He has also pledged an incredible $500 million to Project Liberty, an ambitious plan to remake the internet. From Boston parking lots to billion-dollar deals, Frank McCourt's journey represents the absolute peak of Irish-American financial power. The power of Boston's Irish families is undeniable, but their story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. If you were amazed by the wealth in this city, you have to see how it compares on a national scale. Check out our next video on the richest Irish families in all of America right here. And before you go, let us know in the comments, which Boston family's fortune surprised you the most? And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into secret wealth.